Hi, my name is David Wistow, and this is the story about a very typical West Toronto front yard and how my partner and I transformed it into a beautiful garden, and how that garden really inspired me to develop a kind of sketchbook diary of the garden, and ultimately I think create hundreds and hundreds of drawings. Kerry did a to-scale drawing of the garden, and then we hired a botanist, and together we began sort of planning what we loved and what we would plant. And eventually, a key date, March the 10th, 2001, we did a huge planting of flowers, shrubs, and trees. Kerry has a green thumb. He's a kind of natural green thumb, and he knows how plants grow and what they need, and he can be ruthless when you have to be ruthless, and he can be kind and gentle when, you know, that's what plants need too. What I really enjoy are the kind of senses of the garden, you know, the sensual pleasures. And, you know, very early on we decided to photograph the growth and change, you know, over the months and the years. But one day I just thought, why not take out my sketchbook and my pen and my crayon pencils and see whether I could spend more time out there that would be rewarding. And so the results were ultimately, I guess, 15 years of watching those gardens change and documenting them. Well, the garden was just incredibly inspiring. And I think ultimately, I guess I've spent thousands of hours kind of hidden amongst the leaves and the shrubs. But what I really wanted to do was to track how the seasons change. And, you know, we planted all sorts of different flowers. I've tracked which ones, begin the season and which ones come up in June and which in July and so on. And then to really understand and appreciate the complexity of nature, you know, how flowers evolve out of a simple bud. And they're full of fabulous colors and textures and forms. So from the very beginning with the magnolias, I tracked the magnolias, and then the tulips and daffodils, and the alliums, zinnias. And ultimately in July, 6-foot tall dahlias that are the size of my head. You know, like, they are spectacular forms. So it was just incredibly rewarding to watch that change and study it carefully. So as the garden evolved, you know, through late summer and early autumn, it's just a total joy to be out there. I mean, neighbors walk by, and I think Kerry and I have gotten to know a lot of people just through working out there and spending time. But one of the great pleasures for me is just sitting down with the sketchbooks and the diaries in the wintertime and kind of reviewing what had transpired that year and imagining what would happen in the next spring. Because all of that spectacular stuff is hidden in the snow, and then it just simply, almost magically, reemerges, you know, the next spring.